it feels like the older generation always hates on the younger generation for seemingly no reason. Simply because just we young. You feel me? It's always the same lines. Y'all generation's easy. Back in my day, it was this and that. Y'all soft. It was so much harder. I had to do a lot of this stuff to even go to like. You feel what I'm saying? Just a bunch of stuff that they be saying, right? But honestly, after some research, 'cause I used to wonder why the same thing. You feel me? I used to wonder why all this shit was like, why they always hated us. But after a bunch of research, I realized there's actually a lot that goes into why they hate us. You feel what I'm saying? And there's a lot that goes into it, more than we even realize. And I'm gonna break that down for y'all. And stick around, stay tuned, because there's a lot that goes into it, especially how bad parenting ties into it. Because I also did my research on bad parenting. So what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy GLX back with another banger for y'all. In this video, I'm gonna be breaking down and talking about the hate that younger generations get from older generations. This is a video that y'all requested from me, so I appreciate y'all showing me some love in the comments, man. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the video, y'all, and hit the thumb button. You feel me? All that stuff. Hit the notification bell. Let's get into it, man. So first off, right, to understand why they hate us, you got to kind of understand their mindset, right? Older people generally have a lot of regrets in their life. Think about it, right? Most of us who watch these videos are what, 15, 20, even 25? Because I'm 20, right? 25 that's only like a quarter of a century. 20 is even a quarter of 20 is like 1/4 of how long most people will live. Most people will live to be like 80. So most people will even live to be like 60. You feel me? People who have lived like 50, 60, even 80 years, bro, they have lived so much life, bro. Like, they have lived so much life. We have not lived that much life. You feel me? So they have so many things that they regret in their life. Anybody who tells you they have no regrets, they're lying. You feel me? I was talking to this one dude. First of all, I was at a bus station, right? And I seen this one dude who, I looked at him and he looked at me. And this dude, bro, he looked exactly like me, bro. Like, I'm saying, like, he had a beard, he had dreads, and he was black. Of course, he was black, right? And then he had glasses, bro. Literally, he looked like an older version of me, like an exact older version of me, bro. I don't know if he was homeless or not, because he was like kind of, you feel me? Like, I'm not trying to judge him. So I don't know if he was homeless or if he was just waiting for the bus or whatever, because he didn't get on the bus with me. So I don't know. But when I saw him, bro, when he saw me first, he said, bro, it's like looking in the mirror, bro. It's like looking in the mirror. And I was just like, oh shit, I see it. And I'm not gonna lie, bro, older people, they look at us and they see a lot of themselves in us. Which is also why they hate on us, because they see that we have a lot of goals, aspirations, and dreams in life. They have that too. They were just like us before. They have those dreams and aspirations in life too. So when they see us, some of us are actually achieving our dreams. It reminds them of the dreams they could and never achieve, or they never achieved. That gets them bitter and angry. You feel what I'm saying? Because this dude, he wasn't angry or nothing. He told me he was like 39, and he has 3 kids. Actually, no, I think he has 4 kids. And bro, like, I don't know, like 39 and you already got 4 kids, and you're like, I don't know what you're doing. You feel me? Again, I don't know his life. I can't judge him. I'm not trying to judge him or nothing. I don't know his life. You feel me? But imagine if that situation was worse. Like, imagine if he was like trying to like pick on me or mess with me because he sees his older self, his younger self in me, and he wants to he kind of like regrets that he didn't do more. You feel me? Excuse me. That leads you to my next point. Everybody hates on the younger generation. Now, what do I mean by everybody hates on the younger generation? Have you ever looked at an iPad kid, one of them kids who are like addicted to Cocoa Melon, right? Who are just like always on the iPad and they always just like, they seem like they're like obsessed with that shit. Like they seem like they're in a trance state, with that shit, right? Because there's actually been some research on that still where like people, they give their kids iPads and then they start going on Cocoa Melon and like now they can't even process without it. They can't even like focus or like even do anything without it. They can't function without Cocoa Melon, right? We see that us, because I know I used to be that way. I used to see them and I would be like, I would never want my kid to grow up like that. Like these Gen Alphas, like they're so like hypnotized. You feel me? Like they're so addicted to the screen. You feel what I'm saying? And I have to stop and think for a second. That's how the older generation sees us. They always say we're addicted to our screens. We can't live without technology, this and that. But they doing the same thing we doing. I have to realize like we're talking about them being addicted to the iPads, being iPad kids, being like Cocoa Melon addicts and shit like that. I have to think for a second like that's kind of like how the older people see us in a way. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not because we live in the best time or not because like younger generations like they get stupider or nothing. It's because throughout all of history, everybody hates on the generation after them. At least most people. And it ties back to what I said before. Everybody has regrets in life. Once you get older, you're gonna have regrets. You feel me? It's really just a part of life. That's just how it is. It's not fair to say that like the younger generation gets hate, but that's just how life is, man. And especially because it's not fair because these iPad kids, bro, they don't know no better. All they know is their iPad because their parents who are too lazy to take care of their kids and actually like feed their kids good shit. They just have the iPad. You feel me? Leave me alone and take the iPad. That's what's really killing the kids, man. And I feel really bad because it's just like that's what's tied into my bad parenting like a part. You feel me? And ties into the next part, man. The things about parents, it's just like bad parenting can actually cause like older generations to hate you for something that your parents put onto you. You feel me? Now, what do I mean by that, right? The iPad kid situation. The iPad kids, they never grew up wanting to be on the iPad. They weren't out the womb saying, "Mommy, give me an iPad." You feel me? Their parents gave them the iPads because they found that was a quick and easy way to get them to sit still and leave them alone while they did work. And cool, y'all need to do work, but at the same time, that's not a good way to raise your kids because now you're overstimulating them. So now all they want is the iPad. You feel me? So now you got your wish. They will leave you alone, but in exchange, they'll never like really interact with you like that again. All they want is the iPad. You feel me? And it's not the fault of the kids. That's just how they were growing. That's how they were raised. Is the iPad? It's the fault of the parents because the parents are the ones who put them onto the iPad in the first place. You feel what I'm saying? Another example. Certain situations, right? I see situations like this all the time. A single mother who has a son or a daughter, like any type of child, right? Let's say any type of child, and the single mom or the single parent. You know what? Let me actually stop. Let me not use single mom. I'm gonna just say parent. The parent will basically be a smother like mother. I think that's the word, smother mother. But it can be a father or mother. I was originally gonna say mother, but no, it really can be a father or a mother. You feel me? It don't got to be just a mom. So basically, the parent can be like overprotective, and they'll basically do everything for their kid and never let them get an ounce of independence. They'll never let them learn how to do things for themselves. You feel me? And this creates an adult that not only is hyper dependent on their parent, but is dependent on people giving shit to them because that's how they were raised. They were raised to always have shit handed to them, and they'll never raised to actually like go out and get shit on their own. Their parents didn't want to let them get hurt, so they never put them in sports. So in exchange, now they grow up fat, probably, or grow up skinny, and they never learned how to actually have the discipline to go to the gym because they thought that if it hurts, then it's bad. You feel me? Their parents never taught them about money because they were scared that they would become homeless. So in exchange, now, if it's time for them to do something like taxes, they have to call their mommy, they have to call their daddy because they can't do taxes on their own. You feel me? Or they just don't have a job because their parents don't want them to work too hard because they got to go to school. That's bullshit, man. Come on, that's bullshit, man. And then when the kids grow up to be adults, now they can't function in society well, and now everybody's looking at them like, the hell, you really you waiting for mommy and daddy to help you out. Mommy and daddy ain't gonna save you. And it's just like the kids don't know no better. Like now, at least when they're adults, they know a little bit more, but they have to struggle even harder now than they would have struggled if their parents had actually let them achieve those things on their own. Now they got to struggle even like 10 times harder because now all they were taught or all they've known is that mommy and daddy will come and give me this and that. So now the mom and daddy cannot give you that no more. They have to struggle on their own. That creates even more than what the parent wanted for them. Creates even more struggle than what the parent wanted for them. In the parents' pursuit of trying to make things easy for them, you made things way harder for them. And that's not the fault of the child. That's the fault of the parent. But then older generations will say, "Oh yeah, you weak. You haven't worked for real. Have you ever had a job, bro? No, then you weak, or like you don't know what the hell's going on. How is that his fault? He never had a job because his parent never let him have a job. How is that his fault? You feel what I'm saying? Not to say that's bad parenting, but it's really what's the word? It's not. You're not preparing them for the real world. You're trying to shield them from the real world, and that's not going to work. The real world is going to come whether you like it or not, because you're going to die eventually. What happens when you die? You can't protect them forever. You feel me? Basically, there are more examples of like actual bad parenting, like abusiveness, generational trauma that travels to their children, and that creates like unstable adults. If y'all want a video on that, let me know in the comments, okay? Because I just reached on this topic. You feel me? Let me know in the comment section. My bad, y'all. I'm talking a lot because I'm very excited about this topic. You know, feel me? I'm very excited, so I'm talking a lot. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all, man. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the video, y'all. We're on the road to 10 subs, 10 subscribers. Feel me? Sub it up in the comments. And I appreciate y'all, man. Peace.